What do you think yeet would mean?
No idea. It's a cousin of a yurt.
Hey guys, it's Mimi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. We are here today. We are doing the reaction to Provo's Most Eligible Season 2, Episode 6. Was it Episode 6?
Yeah, I think so.
We're here with a very special guest today. This is Steve. He's my father-in-law, and he's in town, so we convinced him to come join us and watch Provo's Most Eligible with us.
My first time.
How did you
watching
like it? Just what was your overall impression?
To me, it was odd. I mean, there's some interesting things myself. I don't like having a top button on the shirt all the time. Sorry about that, but that's just a personal preference there. Some of the contestants seemed a little young. They seemed interested in one another. I mean, it's interesting that they could talk and have some, as much as you can with a camera on you, like right now.
Yeah.
Having somebody filming you and be able to share that.
Totally. Which I'm so glad, because in the beginning it was interesting. We saw more people who we thought were there just for the fame. Because when you're on the show, you do actually become pretty Provo famous.
Right.
Like, people recognize you around campus. But I feel like we have filtered that out. And now they actually are all really interested. And it's going to be really interesting to see how it all turns out. We had our final one-on-one dates. Oh, did I introduce Eric? I don't know. You guys know him. He's my husband. But in this episode, we got to see the one-on-one dates with each girl and her two different guys. And I feel like it was pretty telling. I don't know, like, I feel like I have a better guess of who each girl's gonna pick now. All right, and before we get into the interview, really quick, I wanna give a huge thank you to our sponsor for this week's video, Zoohoo. Zoohoo is a social app that captures the unique and special details of your friends, family, or business associates and enables you to nurture those relationships through active engagement. So essentially, it helps you keep in touch with people, network with your friends, and it even is a huge help for ministering. I don't know about you guys, but I have the actual worst memory. So when I'm ministering to people in my ward, or even just when I meet people, I tend to forget things like their major, where they're from, and then I hate to ask them again because I feel like we're already past that. So with Zoohoo, I can really remember those unique details on their contact page. I'm also really excited to use this app once I graduate from college, because 73% of young adults find their job through networking. So I know this will be a great way to stay in touch with my classmates after I graduate. Likewise, it is an organizational tool that helps people keep track of their friends, family, colleagues at school and work, and at church. And we all know that as college students, we have a ton of things to keep track of, so I love having everything just in one place. So thank you again to Zoohoo for sponsoring this video, and if you're interested in giving them a try, I will have a link to download the app in the description.
Like, Josue's date with Ellie, like,
Let's just start there.
That was just awkward the whole time.
Yeah.
And you could just tell from the whole thing that there's no chance there.
Yep.
I mean, it seemed like Josue's not interested in her. She's not interested in him. I mean, they were like, how do you feel like it's going? He's like, I should probably ask her that.
Yeah, they asked him if he thought he'd win, and he was like, yeah. And then they were like, how does Ellie feel about you? He's like, I don't know. That's a great question. And it's like, do you know those things go together?
It was just weird to me. Like, it seemed like he just had no idea what's going on. Like, even the questions he was asking during the picnic. He's like, what do you look for in a relationship? Everyone else asked that 3 weeks ago, and now he's like, final two, I should find out if I like this girl or not.
They're obviously just not gonna end up together.
That date was just bad.
It was so hard to watch. I felt uncomfortable for them.
And Josue's joke.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, joking that we're working hard, this is how the relationship's gonna turn out too. No! And he's like, yeah, I didn't think she thought it was that funny. We're like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, she
Wonder
laughed
why.
much. And he's like, oh wait, she didn't laugh at all. Go figure. I mean, maybe if he actually had a history with her, he could have pulled off something like that.
Right.
But seeing this is like the first time they've hung out across the entire show.
Well, they had that other one-on-one date, but it was also this awkward. I feel like they haven't progressed or moved out of that stage because they just don't like each other. And that's okay. You don't have, not everybody's for everybody. I just think it's funny how obvious it is that how much more comfortable she is with Scott.
On the picnic blanket, and he's leaning in, and she's just sitting
Leaning
like this
away.
the whole time. Like, this is a great date. Yep, have a good time.
We just know it's not gonna end well for Josue. Sorry, Josue. And then contrasting that with Scott.
Is this where we get to use the blowtorch?
Almost there. So something interesting that we want to say before, like, we get into the whole date. We have a conspiracy theory. We don't know when that date at the Gem Studio was filmed. Because I did notice on their Instagram, because you guys, you know I do the series, you know I'm like hardcore, want to get the tea for you all. Tea is like drama or like, yeah, anyway. So I saw on their Instagram page that they were at the Gem Studio filming only a couple weeks ago, like in the month.
A couple weeks ago, or did you say it was like last week?
I don't remember how long ago. I think it was during November.
Dang.
So I don't
Pretty
know.
recent.
I don't know if they just posted the behind the scenes footage until after the episode to release that. It seemed like they were filming just then. So I don't
Weird.
know. I really don't know. Maybe I'm just like reading
too much
into things.
it.
But I don't know. It really looked like they were filming that date then. So that
What does
makes
that
me
mean? Does that mean they're
wonder.
still together?
Redo?
I don't
Are they
know.
still going out right now?
Because they seemed on this date the most comfortable together than they had ever seemed before. Like Ellie, I just love Ellie. She is so cute. She was just joking around. They were singing. Like they just seemed so tight. It seemed, I don't know. It just seemed like they were still together. So I wonder if that means that she picked Scott and now they're still together outside the show and it's been over for like several months now.
I right now am doing a group project with Scott, so I can't really say anything negative here because I need him to pull through with this. But what are your thoughts, Dad? What do you think? Completely unbiased opinion, Scott.
Advice opinion seem there. There's a little bit of arrogance, cockiness going on in there. A little bit about that. This competition, banging on and stuff. A little bit. It'd be a little nice to see him a little more humble, if you will, of considering her.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize they talked and some things there, but
Totally.
but again, it's a case where it'd be good for him to just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that some of it is like as a joke, he's like joking, being cocky, but it has seemed like through the whole season that has been more about him than her. Just because I think he does have a more dominant personality and she's more, I don't know if timid is the right word, but yeah, we
reserved
definitely
a little bit.
saw that in this episode for sure. Sorry, Scott.
We like him. I'm rooting for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things I do want to mention about Scott, though, I appreciate is he was talking about commitment. That it seemed like he recognized it was important that you have that commitment to somebody that you're compatible with the right person. That was very important. I appreciated him saying that. So, even though some of the other things, a little arrogance, but still I appreciated him recognizing it.
Absolutely.
Like I think, you could kind of wonder if he's like taking it seriously or not, because he has been joking a lot through the whole thing for sure. Kind of with that cockiness thing. Like to me, I think it's kind of him joking and having fun with it, and so you'd be like, oh, is he maybe not taking this seriously? But I think that it does. Like when he was talking about that, it shows he at least understands relationships and things. So if he gets to that point with Ellie that he would be taking it seriously, he wouldn't just be messing around. But that reminds me, actually, I was talking to my class the other day about why he went on the show. And he's actually friends with Remington, and so he knew that he was filming the second season of the show, and so he's like, oh man, that sounds cool, yeah, sure, I'll get on there. I don't think he knew the girls going into it at all.
Okay.
Well, actually, he did say he slightly knew Lauren coming into it. He didn't know she was on it, but then when he got in there, he realized he'd known her a tiny bit, but ended up on Ellie's team, and obviously that's where he was happier
It seems like they hit it off from the beginning, and it does seem like he would be ready for a relationship, and he seems to be taking things seriously, not just for fame or, he seems genuine about it.
I think he's having fun with the experience, but at the same time, he's taking it serious too.
Totally.
I was wondering at the end of it though, I was like, shoot, he's making a ring. Was he gonna try and do something with it? But
Now, one thing
It
you
was
did
for
notice-
him.
he just put it on his own pinky. And
But you
done.
did notice what she did with her ring at the end.
Yes.
Which hand
We
was
did.
it on? Started on the right hand.
Move to the left. So B had her 2 dates with Keaton and Walker in this episode. Keaton was the first one, so we'll talk about him first. And, well, I mean, seeing her and Keaton together, I was like, dang, yes, they're so cute. They're so into each other. And then I saw her and Walker, and I was like, no, Keaton doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, just the difference in body language and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, cause like with Keaton, I was like, dang, they're cuddling on the boat. Like, dang, she's all up on his shoulder and stuff. But then just seeing like her face though, whenever she interacted with Walker, you just see it was so much more real.
Like, the
she was
whole
so
time
much
she's
more
talking to
connected.
Walker, it's like this.
Grab the lemon roasted chicken.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
So I would be shocked if she picked Keaton.
I would be too, which is so sad because I've been Team Keaton this whole season. Everybody knows it. And it seemed like their boat date was really, really cute. It looked like they had fun together. It seemed like they had really good communication going on. And I don't know, it's just sad because Keaton said that thing at the end where he's like, no matter what happens, if anything, I met a girl who's been so understanding and a great friend. And it made me really sad because I don't know. I just don't know if they're gonna end up together, but I just feel like Keaton is the more mature person against Walker. I don't know these people personally, keep in mind, but how it comes across in the show is Keaton is older and he just seems like he's taking it more seriously. And Walker did seem more serious in this episode, but I do wonder how serious he would take it outside of the show when it's not all being filmed, and you know what I mean?
That's kind of my one thing. I'm like, well, the only way I could see her picking Keaton instead of Walker is if she was just worried about him being a player or worried about him, you know, if maybe something came out like, oh, wow, he's been dating girls the whole time. Or like if some of those things, the concerns people brought up earlier, if those actually came out to be true, then I could see her freak out. And obviously, like, she wouldn't go with him. But that's pretty much the only reason I would see.
This is just what I wonder because we don't know if Keaton's gonna get picked in the end. But he said, like, I really like B, but I don't want to, like, put all my heart and everything into
saying, like,
it.
Oh, I'm kind of holding back.
He's holding back, which I'm like, bro, like, I hope that's not what stops him from winning in the end. Is you can't hold yourself back because you are afraid of getting hurt.
She's gonna pick whoever she's more connected to. So if he's holding himself back, they're not gonna have that connection.
I think greater risk equals greater reward, and if Keaton wants to win, well, I mean, it's already filmed, but he really has to go for it and show B that she's worth it and show that he's fully committed, because I feel like Walker has been proving that to her throughout the whole show, so that might be his downfall. Skydiving, oh my gosh, like knowing B now too, I have a video with her coming out, by the way, but watching her jump out of a plane freaked me out so bad, like knowing her, I don't know, it was weird. I'm like, B, like, be careful. Like, I was scared for her.
Oh my gosh, like just literally how proud she was of herself for not throwing up. That was the weirdest conversation. She's like, yeah, like I almost threw up 3 times on the plane, then coming down, wow, this is so cool. I'm like, are you literally hyped about not throwing up? That's your big takeaway? Like, I'm a champion, I didn't throw up, let's go.
Oh my gosh, also the funniest thing I could not get over during the skydiving. I'll put a clip, I'll put like a side by side. They looked like twins. Like, cause
their hair was
B's
identical.
hair was like flying up and so was his, and they looked like the same person. It was so funny. If they wore the same shirt, like I would not be able to tell the difference between them.
All right, at the dinner after, like the questions,
that
was
Go
really...
B, yes.
I thought it was funny because Walker seemed so caught off guard by it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, good question, but like you could tell at the same time he's like, oh shoot, I don't know what. He was nervous. He was like feeling so called out when she was like asking him about like, so are you a player? Are you just dating around? Yep. Are you really gonna be ready for a relationship, man? Like, cause have you ever? And he's like, what? Whoa, these are some tough questions. Like, dude, this should be an easy question. If you're on a show about dating, you should be ready to talk about dating.
It's always been like that with him. It's always been like that. He's like, oh, good question, B. I didn't think about that, or didn't think I would have to tell you all this stuff. Like, it's been like that since the beginning.
Expects like, oh yeah, we're gonna like kiss and hang out and have an awesome time, and then she's all like relationship, and he's like, whoa, what?
But he said he wanted a relationship.
Yeah, but it seems like he's just focusing on like the fun and just being there, not really thinking about all the relationship aspects that go into that together.
That's why I'm worried. I'm really scared that after all this is over, if B picks him, he just drops her. Because the show's over, it's done being filmed, he got his fame. I mean, I don't know what happens.
Maybe not even fame, maybe it's just not as fun for him, it's not as new, you know? Because like right now, it's this exciting relationship he's never had before. No other girl he's ever been with has been on a show, so like, it makes it new and exciting. Maybe as soon as it's done, it loses that exciting factor for him.
It does seem like he likes B though, so that's where I'm conflicted, because there are moments and
I mean,
where you can tell he has feelings for her. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't want B to get hurt. I'm like getting so stressed about this. So Lauren's date. So her first date was with Jake, and they did the paragliding and they had dinner. Jake is just so funny. Like, he's just so funny. when they went into their
You mean
date.
funny in a good way? Or
I
in a
don't
bad
know.
way?
I'm still deciding. It's just so funny. Like, said something like, I just have to be confident about it or I know I'll start crying.
Oh my
and
gosh, when he's like, every morning I have to tell just don't think about Austin or I'll start crying. I was like, you poor guy.
I know, I just feel bad because honestly, like, I just feel like you need to be very, very confident and sure of yourself if you're going on a show like this. I just feel bad. Like, I just don't know if he doesn't get picked, I think he'll be devastated. And I think it will crush him and it'll take a long time to get over, even though they've only known each other for such a short period of time. I mean, he said, I love you.
Yeah.
That was huge. I don't think anybody saw that coming at all.
And then his awkward yeets, man. Oh.
Yeah. He says,
Because he never
do you
just...
know what yeet is?
What do you think yeet would mean?
No idea. It's a cousin of a yurt.
Yeah, so basically just like, yeah, I mean, now it's kind of just like an exclamation. And so like at the end, instead of like most people are like, ooh, yeet, but instead he just goes like, yeet. I'm like, what the heck?
Instead of yay, huh?
It's just,
Yeah. Pretty close to that.
It's just weird the way he did it. Like, it just was awkward.
He just does it all the time. Like, after they kissed for the first time, that was like the first thing he said. Yeet.
He's an odd duck.
He is very nice, though, I will say. When I met him, he was very, very
I mean,
nice.
he seems like a real guy. Because,
yeah.
like, I mean, you could be weird on camera just for the sake of being weird. I think he's just being himself.
Yeah.
He's a little bit goofy of a guy, but, like, that's cool.
He's owning it. He's owning it, and that's great. I'd rather see that than see somebody be completely fake on the show. So, we make fun of you, Jake, but we respect you, and it's weird because he seems so confident, like, with the weird stuff he does and says, but then
he
kind
says
of
he has
less
to not cry
confident.
every morning, so...
Yeah. So at first, like earlier in the season, so Jake had kind of heard that Lauren was divorced, but he seemed a bit freaked out by it. But I'm really glad they talked about it in this episode during their dinner. Lauren openly talked about her divorce, and I really loved hearing about how her relationship with God has helped her through that. And it really seemed like Jake was being mature about the whole situation, even though he ended it with "let's send it." I don't know about that, but he
Cool.
seemed very
Let's send it.
he seemed very understanding about her divorce, which is good to see. And he said, you know, no matter what you've been through in the past, like, I respect it, you've grown from it, and I still want to move forward with you. And he said, I love you. What do we think about that? Because here's the thing, they have known each other, they're probably filming this in like August, they've known each other since June, and they only see each other 2 to 3 times a week, usually with a ton of camera people around them and other contestants around them, and he's already to that place. I mean, it seems a little quick for me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he doesn't love her, it just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed quick.
I didn't have the nerve to say that for a long time. Let me
Yeah.
just put it that way.
Especially when you know you're competing and she's
On
still
camera,
dating
there's
another guy.
And I didn't have that to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems quick, but at the same time, I mean, everyone's different, so like I get that you can have real emotions that fast. That happens. I mean, like, could it be just him getting caught up in the show and the excitement of it? Yeah, but it can also be like real feelings. I mean, it is like he even said it himself, like, "Whoa, am I rushing into things? Like, what's going on?" He tried to pull it back, but I mean, that's just like how he's feeling. So.
And just because of that, I would hope that she would pick Jake, but when she was with Austin, I don't know, it seemed like they had really, really good connection.
You know, so here's the thing. On their fun date part of it, like where they were out riding the Razor and everything, like they seemed like they were having a blast together, joking around. Like I saw some good chemistry there, and I was like, oh, whoa, they're a lot closer than I thought. But then when they were at the crepe place, that conversation, I mean, I get talking about someone's divorce is an awkward topic.
Right.
But he did just seem a little bit more awkward there, and it like didn't seem as connected. So I mean, I wasn't really sure how to take that, you know, if that was just because it was a weird topic.
And he's young. I mean, let's be honest, there's not many people at that age that you would think that you're gonna be having that conversation with somebody.
Right.
I'm surprised actually the fact that he hadn't heard.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. Like, did Austin really not hear that she was divorced? Because Jake heard it through a different contestant. She talked to Kill about it on like the 2nd episode. So
I honestly, I thought that would have just gone around the set like immediately.
Me too.
I mean, plus we knew Kwaku already knew her ahead of time and knew that. Scott might have known that as well. So like, if these people were there, I don't see how that would have stayed a secret. So I wonder if he was just saying like she hadn't talked to him about it.
Yeah. No, but it really did seem like he was surprised though. Because I imagine him going into it, he's probably thinking first like, oh, it's just the age gap I have to worry about. And now there's the added layer of, oh, she's been married before and he's only 21 or 22.
What she presented, talked about it, is that she didn't see better. her spouse. She didn't blame him for anything. There was none of that going on, which I appreciated that she talked about it here.
It's gotta be so easy to just throw someone on the bus. Like,
None of that.
oh yeah, my ex-husband's the worst, so I left.
Right,
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
there's
And I
none of that.
noticed that even when I talked to her off camera, like when nothing else was going on, she really never had anything. And we're not really close, so I don't even know if she'd open up about that. But even off camera, it was the same thing.
That's good.
I just worry about Austin. Like maybe he just really likes Lauren, so he wants to move forward. But maybe like a couple months into the relationship, if they got into a relationship, he'd be like, "Oh wait, like I don't know if I'm ready for this." But it does seem like they have a lot of fun together, and that's something Lauren has told me too, that they just have a blast. And she was like, he's just so funny. And when they were on the razor and joking around, splashing, and like everything, it looked so fun. So no doubt that they have feelings for each other, or that they have a great time together. So I don't know, it'll just be interesting to see. Who do you guys think that Lauren will pick? Austin or Jake?
I would say Jake, because when she left, he said, "I love you," and she walked out of it and said, "The conversation went well with Jake. Really well."
No, that is so true. She probably, if she wasn't into him, she'd be freaked out. My vote for Lauren, I don't know, I'm so torn. It seems like her and Austin just have so much fun together. It just seems like things are more natural there. So my vote would probably be Austin. What do you think?
I'm not gonna do that. I didn't watch the show.
Well, we'll keep you posted.
There you
We
go.
know you're gonna be
Okay.
very invested after this.
Yeah, very.
And then we were talking about Ellie, obviously Scott, and then
Obviously.
we talked about B.
Walker.
Walker, unless something crazy happens.
Anyway, anything else about the episode, or let's get your final.
Thank you for
final
inviting
thoughts.
me. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Yeah, I came all the way from Washington just for this.
And as always, we would love to hear what you think. If you agree or disagree with what we have to say, your reaction to the episode, and who you are rooting for to the end. We shared our predictions, and we would love to hear yours too. So thank you again so much for watching. We have probably 2 more videos about Provo's Most Eligible coming out. We'll have the reaction to the finale, and then if they do a live show, we'll definitely be there. We'll be vlogging. Let us know who you want us to talk to. But then after Provo's Most Eligible is over, I know this is the only thing I've been doing videos about lately, but I'm a Latter-day Saint YouTuber, so I'll have more stuff coming out about church culture, modesty hacks, things like that. So if you have any video suggestions, leave them in the comments. Thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Yeah.